Both these sides lost their opening games in the competition just 3 days ago, so the incentive here is to pick up 3 points and stay in touch with the other two teams in the group. Port FC are in their first ever AFC Champions League group campaign, while Guangzhou have sent a young squad to pit their wits against East Asia's best. We're at the Buranam Stadium for today's Group J double-header of matches. So Cerezo Osaka and Kichi, the early pace setters, with a victory in their opening games against today's two teams. They play each other in the second game in the group a little bit later on. That should be pretty spectacular. Hopefully the weather will be better, certainly better at the moment. We had a monsoon downpour the other night. 35 degrees today. That will really sap the energy of the players. We will get a drinks break in each half because the temperature is above 30 degrees Celsius. This stadium nicknamed the Thunder Castle, the home of Buranam United. We didn't need the sprinklers the other night, that's for sure. So much better conditions today, and looking forward to seeing both these teams, see how they settled in, see how they make changes after that opening defeat. Certainly Sarawat Tripan, the Port FC coach, saying that they've analysed their performance and they were disappointing in the final third, despite the fact they hit the woodwork twice in the opening 8 minutes against Kichi. Just a reminder that it is the top team in each group that go through. Three of the best second-place teams will also make it through to make up the 8 sides from this eastern section and join the 8 teams from the west that joined, or that secured their passage in April. Be interesting to see how this Guangzhou side fare today. It's a very young team that the Chinese have sent to the competition. Socially distanced substitutes these days. It's a good opportunity for some of these players to make a name for themselves. They have got a number of 16-year-olds in their squad. Li Jinyu is the coach. He's normally the assistant to the first team coach Fabio Cannavaro, the legendary Italian. Teams are allowed to make 5 substitutes, don't forget, so plenty of opportunity for these players to get some game time over the next few weeks. So it is very hot here today, 35 degrees, probably the warmest we've seen so far of all the matches. All the coaches so far talking about how important the recovery time is. There's only 3 days between each match, 6 games in a very short space of time. It really is a test of stamina. Lu Jiyu, the Guangzhou coach, well, the man, certainly the man in charge of this tournament, was appointed assistant coach for Guangzhou on the 1st of January 3 years ago. Spent 14 games as a video analyst for Marcello Lippi when he was the Chinese national coach. So he's a man who knows all about the analytical side of the game. Teams prepare methodically these days, of course, whatever level you play football. It is all about trying to outwit your opponents. Will be a first ever AFC Champions League meeting between these sides. Port FC on their debut. Despite the fact both teams lost their opening matches, there's nothing to be despondent about. They both gave good performances in their own right. because we didn't really know what to expect with Guangzhou sending such a young squad to the tournament, but they battled hard despite the fact they fell behind early against Cerezo Osaka. You perhaps thought the floodgates might open, but some very dogged defending by the Chinese and a good performance by Chang Jinji, the goalkeeper. Can they get themselves off to, or get their campaign off to a winning start today in their second match? Into the sunshine. Kitchi in the red and blue. This change strip of yellow today for Guangzhou. Were known as Guangzhou Evergrande FC until fairly recently. Chinese teams do have a habit of changing their names, various reasons, various sponsors, etc. But it is just Guangzhou FC now. The new socially distanced way of showing your appreciation to your opponents as well is a round of applause rather than a handshake. Well, let's take a look at the team news. Port FC made 2 changes, both of them tactical for coach Sarawat Tripan. There's a change at left-back with Titatorn Akisori replacing Jaraputat Satam. The midfield 3 remain the same. The other change comes in the front 3 with Pakorn Palmpak, who came in the last match, getting a start. Both Baggio and Bordin hit the woodwork early on against Kitchi. They will hope for better luck in front of goal today. Match referees, Bajan Hidari from Asadabad in Iran. It's his first AFC Champions League match. He did referee an Asian Cup match between Tishreen and Kuwait Sporting Club last month. He was also at the 2018 Asian Games. For all their youth, Guangzhou battled hard in their opening match against Cerezo despite falling behind. Coach Li Ziyu keeps faith with the same 11 that started that opening game. It's a side made up of mainly 20 and 21-year-olds, the exceptions being number 78, Zhang Ji, and number 82, Huang Keizhou, who are both 19. Both players to drop out of the Port lineup are on the bench. Jaturapat and Philip Roller among the substitutes. While on the Guangzhou bench, Wu Junhiao, one of the youngest players in the squad at just 16 years of age. No crowds, of course, to witness the AFC Champions League this season. Nevertheless, the standard of football in the opening rounds of matches so far has been exceptionally good. We've seen some wonderful goals, some great skills, and I'm sure we've got plenty more to come over the next couple of weeks. Chen Qinjian there, the Guangzhou captain. It will be Guangzhou to get us underway. Referee just waiting for his signal from the sideline to get things started here in Buranam. We're in the lower northeastern region of Thailand, one of 3 venues that's being used for this tournament. We were at BG Pathum United's home ground yesterday for their match in the tournament. Bangkok, the other venue, and the National Stadium being used for these group games, and 2 groups in Uzbekistan. So it is Guangzhou in a change strip of yellow today that get us underway. They'll kick from right to left in the first half. Both sides drew a blank on their opening day, looking for their first points and their first goals in the AFC Champions League group stages. Is today the day that they can get themselves off and running with a win? Start could be all important. It's offside against Li Jintao. Sarawak Tripan. He was very analytical about his side's performance in the opening game. So they've done a lot of homework on their tactics. They've studied Guangzhou and the way that they play. Despite the fact they're young players that they don't know too much about, he feels that the team ethic and the tactics running through the club are very similar. There's John Baggio, who was impressive in that opening game, the man from Madagascar who's just joined. So he and Bordin both hit the bar inside the opening 8 minutes. They didn't have any luck in front of goal at all in that opening game. Managed to keep Kitchi at bay for 37 minutes in their opening match. Port. It's a good ball forward that was dropping right to the back of Bordin, just trying to sneak round. Li Jiyu, the man in charge, is having a bit of problem with the sun in his eyes at the moment. It is just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon local time, so the sun just on its way down at the moment. It's a little fortunate there, the clearance came back off Suarez. It's a good ball to Pacorn. To the byline as well, it's just ahead of Suarez. That'll be a foul. Well, in fact, the referee waves play on. I thought that was a foul on the edge of the penalty area. Not given, though. Our Iranian referee, Suakorn, the man that came flying in. Wang Tianjiang looking long towards Swan Keizo, but can't pick the man out. This is Pacorn looking for Baggio. Guangzhou qualified as runners-up from the 2020 Chinese League. 10th appearance in the tournament, vastly experienced at this level. They're the only Chinese team to win the AFC Champions League twice, in 2013 and 2015. Port secured their place in the competition. They were second halfway through the 2020-21 Thai League season. They went on to finish third in the table, so that halfway point sealing their place in the competition and a debut. Did make it through to the playoffs last year. They were beaten by United FC from the Philippines in the preliminary stage. It's been a positive start by Port, who are spending a lot of time in the Guangzhou half of the field at the moment. There's Lin Jintao, Chen Changfeng. Good solid challenge. So the average age is about 19-20 of the Guangzhou side. They have got a number of 16-year-olds in the squad. Squads of 30. You're allowed 10 substitutes on the bench, so 9 players not featuring today that are in the squad. It's a 5 increase on the normal squad sizes for the AFC Champions League due to the coronavirus issues. Wang Tianjing. Good pace here. Still going all the way, trying to get him behind the poor defence. And he was well trapped by Pakorn, who concedes the corner. Came on after 82 minutes against Kitchi on match day 1. Pakorn Parpak getting a start today. Chang Ji-Li with the corner. Looking for some movement inside the penalty area. It's a poor delivery though, gathered by Warowitz in goal. Good angle ball out to John Baggio. Flag, I think, just up for offside. He clipped his arm. Yeah, just a handball from Baggio as that just popped up in front of him. Sign from Sukhothai for the new season. Scored 48 goals in 151 appearances for them in the league. 16 last season, or this season. Not too sure whether he called it this season or last season anymore. Anyway, the most recent season prompted FC Port to sign him, or Port FC rather, to sign him for the current campaign. Zhang Zhihao. Chen Quanjing. Forced back again by Bordin. Slightly awkward one for the goalkeeper to have to deal with, but he's dealt with it okay. Baggio. He's got Pakorn outside him. Baggio racing to get into the centre. That looked like he clipped a hand on the way through. Pakorn continues. Sulky just trying to feed that one out wide. Looks as though Sergio Suarez, the Spaniard, is playing in a more advanced role. Playing in what you perhaps call as a number 10 role behind the front three at the moment, Suarez. He played on the left side of the midfield three in the first game, but Siwakorn and Sulky occupying the left and right position. Here is Suarez just out wide for the moment. Selenon. Pakorn. Port enjoying good possession at the moment, but where they are, they're not going to hurt Guangzhou. Selenon. Pakorn just hugging this near touchline. It's down the line for Baggio. Tried to get that one across first time. Came off Chang Zhihao. And it will be the first corner of the game. Ten minutes gone. Still goalless. Both these sides looking for their first goal in the competition. Don't forget, having drawn blanks on match day 1. Will be Pakorn to take the free kick. A whole cluster of players on the edge of the area. Referee will be keeping his eye on any pushing and shoving in there. It's a free header and a downward header from Titatorn, but it's wide of the target. Great chance for Port to try and take the lead from the set piece. Just found himself a little bit of space behind his marker. Chang Ji-Li just lost him. And it bounces wide from Titatorn. Well, he's one of the younger players in the team, Chang Ji-Li. Just a little bit of inexperience there. He was out-muscled by Titatorn. He's got a twin brother, Titavi, that also plays for Port FC. They tended to follow each other around, the twin brothers. Titavi is on the bench. His brother starting. Fan Hengbo, low shot, straight to the goalkeeper. Saw him cutting from that far side a couple of times in the opening game, Fan Hengbo. Be a good experience for these youngsters playing against teams like Port and Cerezo Osaka and Kitchi, who have the prolific goal scorer among their ranks, of course, Dejan Damjanovic, who could well break the AFC Champions League goal scoring record in the match later on. He's currently level in that one. Lee Dong-gok previously held the record of 37 goals. Damjanovic with that strike against Port FC, drawing him level on 37. Yet to see really from either of these teams any indication of where goals are going to come from. Wang Kei-Zhu is all playing as the main central striker for Guangzhou. Just needs some service from his midfielders behind him. Guangzhou have managed just one win in their last 10 AFC Champions League games. That came against Vissel Kobe back in November 2020. 4 draws and 5 defeats in that period. I think prior to that they'd lost just 5 games in 29 matches in the competition. It's been a disappointing couple of campaigns for the Chinese. Titatorn, who had that header a moment or so ago, going back on defensive duty. Chen Ruijin. Challenge from Sulki. Dollar. Selenon. Sulki. He's playing that roaming role in front of the back four. That's aiming towards the path of Baggio. Chen Quanqing did well there, just to shepherd it behind for the goal kick. Sarawat Tripan, the 41-year-old coach, played as a right-back in his playing days at Bangkok Christian College and Chile United. Actually, he was a Thai League winner in his playing days with BCC back in 2001. Won a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games in the same year, 20 years ago this year, with the under-23s as well. Foul by Wang Kei-Zhu. Sulki. Dollar. Baggio. Bit of space here for Sulki. Pakorn providing the wide option once again. Swung in by Selenon. It's an awkward one for the keeper, nodded back by Baggio! And Suarez, brilliant save! Somehow Chen Jiangji has managed to kick that one out with his foot. It seemed a nailed-on goal for Suarez, but the goalkeeper's made a wonderful stop, and he's kept his sides Goal intact just for the moment. Pressure still on, though. Dollar. Borden. Titatorn. Borden again. Threatening Port FC. Takes a deflection and goes wide. And they're really under the cosh, Guangzhou. Well, the goalkeeper, who was unfortunate in the first game, that Thiago header scoring the second goal that came off the underside of the bar and bounced in, made a couple of great saves. That is a stunning save from Suarez. And quite how the Spaniard has missed from that close is anybody's guess. It's a wonderful ball in. Baggio headed it back, and Suarez seemed to have all the time in the world, but somehow Chang has got his leg to it. It doesn't matter how you keep them out as a goalkeeper. Baggio's header back that caused all the problems. Overcomes the corner. Oh, bounces awkwardly over the keeper again, and Li Jintao heads away. Baggio. Goalkeeper seemed to come for that and then change his mind. Selenon. Titatorn. Plenty of yellow shirts back behind the ball. Ransai. Chen Quanjiang looking long towards Juan Quezon. Port just controlling that midfield area at the moment. This is Baggio. Good ball across, but comfortably gathered by the goalkeeper. Well, it's been a real statement of intent from Port in these opening minutes. Resilient, I think, is a word that Liu Jiyu would term his side at the moment. Port have had over 71% of the ball in the first 18 minutes. They've had the clearest chance of the game as well. Borden. Suakorn. Titatorn on the overlap. That'll be a free kick. Suakorn bursting through. I think they'll be lucky not to get a yellow card here, Fan Hengbo. He was never going to get the ball from that sort of angle, and well, he's lucky lot to go into the book. Fan Hengbo. Has given a free kick in a dangerous position to Port FC. Pakorn has come across to take it. This will be whipped in towards Chang Xinji. Good pace, pushed away by the goalkeeper. Good wrists, taking no chances, didn't push it back into play, just helped it behind for a corner. Good goalkeeping. Just 21 years of age, the goalkeeper. So he was unlucky, nearly saved that header from Thiago against Cerezo Osaka, but the ball going in off the underside of the bar. There was a point in the game in there was a player down injured, and he just sat resting against the post, just reflecting on what might have been. Rochella forward for the corner. Flashes across the face of goal again. Borden. To reach Baggio. Pakorn. Crossing took a slight deflection! And the header does find a way in this time. It's Dollar with the goal. Nobody tracked the run, he came in late. And Elias Dollar gets the opening goal of the game, the man born in Sweden. Made his 100th league appearance back in March. And he has the opening goal of the game. Nothing that the Guangzhou defence could do on that occasion. It's a bullet header from a great ball back in. The quality of the balls in from Port has been exceptional so far. Great header, great goal. And Port have their first ever AFC Champions League group stage goal. And they lead Guangzhou by a goal to nil. Pakorn, the creator, Dollar, the scorer. Well, I think anybody will tell you that you physically can't defend balls into the box like that. Went the whole Thai League season without scoring. Elias Dollar, 22 appearances. Guangzhou straight back on the attack with Fan Hengbo. Chang Chi Hao. Now Chen Qinjiang. Fan Hengbo, who's switched sides with Liao Jintao, trying his luck down this near side against Selenon. It's a long-range effort from Chen Qinjiang, the captain, straight at the goalkeeper. Hasn't had too much to do in the opening 23 minutes. Warwood had his body right behind that one. Titatorn on the chase. A massive boost if Port could hold on and take the points here. They've got back-to-back games against Cerezo Osaka from Japan coming up on match days 3 and 4. One of the most successful sides in Thai history, Port FC. They were previously known as the Port Authority of Thailand FC. Taken over in 2015 by businesswoman Nulpen Lamsam, known locally as Madam Pang, and it's been a real turn in their fortunes having that investment. Next step for them really is to try and win the Thai League, which they haven't managed to do as yet. Third in each of the last 3 seasons. Baggio making himself busy again, trying to put Chang under pressure. Titatorn. It's a clean challenge. Chance for Guangzhou, hits 3 against 4 in favour of Port. Suarez. Sivakorn. Given away by Suarez. to Fan Hengbo. Pakorn. Marcelanon in towards Baggio, trying to nod that one down to Sulky. Long-range shot from Siwakorn comes in, blocked. Too many players between him and goal. Chin Feng. Wankezu. Defended well again by Dollar, the man who scored the goal. Did score a couple of league goals in the 2019 season, Elias Dollar. 1-0 win over Sukhothai and a 1-1 draw with Bangkok United. He's only scored 3 goals in his career in Thailand since 2015. Did score a couple with his first club, Lunds FC in Sweden. Way back in 2013, some 8 years ago. Chang Chi-hao under a little bit of pressure from Baggio, but comfortably finds his captain. Well, Port's still very much in control at the moment. They have the lead. They've dominated possession in the opening 28 minutes of the match. Just inviting Guangzhou onto them at the moment. Titatorn. Pakorn. Sulky. Stifling heat at the moment. Port just trying to grind down Guangzhou really and make them chase shadows at the moment. There'll be a foul by Baggio and Fan Hengbo. Those 2 AFC Champions League wins for Guangzhou saw them play twice in the FIFA Club World Cup. Finished 4th in both those competitions. 2013 they lost out to Atletico Mineiro from Brazil in the 3rd place match, and 2 years later Sanfrecce Hiroshima also beat them into 4th place. They do play at a 54,000-seater stadium, the Tianhe Stadium at the moment, but work has begun on a new 100,000-seater stadium which will be ready for the 2023 AFC Asia Cup. Approaching the half-hour mark, it will be the drinks break. As we said, temperatures mid-30s, very, very hot. And players glad of taking on some refreshment here with Port leading by 1-0. Suarez had that great chance which was saved by the legs of Chang Jinji, but the goalkeeper hopeless to keep out the header from Elias Dollar. Great ball in from Pakorn, and Dollar not picked up. You'll see the run from Dollar here. In between the defenders, nobody picked the run up. And it's a wonderful header into the bottom corner. Great ball in from Pakorn. Coaches cry out for quality from crosses. We haven't seen too much from that sort of distance finding its mark in the competition so far, but Pakorn setting the standard. Dollar with an accomplished finish. And Port's first ever goal in the AFC Champions League group stages. This young Guangzhou team once again have to try and come back from behind. Chen Raijin. Good run from Yao Jintao. A slight hesitation from Selenon. It was almost picked off in the middle. Free kick will go Port's way, but just for a second Selenon was under pressure from Ruan Sai. Fan Hengbo was in there as well. It was Ruan Sai's challenge that gave the foul away. It was Fan Hengbo who's switched over to this near side under pressure. Rochella, the man that was fouled. Rochella, captain. Dollar. Unfortunate there for Yao Jintao. Offside flag up against Huang Keizu. Just thought he'd sprung the Port defence then. Just went a fraction too early. See how early he went. Yeah, just needed that ball to be released a little bit sooner. Good decision. Good to see assistant referees putting their flags up straight away as well. So these days, particularly when VAR's involved, the linesmen or the assistants are told to keep their flags down as long as possible, and then once the move breaks down, put their flag up. It's very frustrating for supporters when they can see a player's clearly offside and the flag doesn't go straight up. No such problems here. No VAR till the knockout stages. Shot from Bordin, and just wide, the second effort. Well, Bordin, who hit the woodwork in the first game inside the opening 8 minutes against Kitchi, proving what a threat he is. He got the first shot in. Siwakorn with the second. And probably feels he should have hit the target from that sort of range as well. Bordin in his third season at Port. He was a former Bangkok Glass, Changi United and Birmingham United player. Would have played in this stadium, of course. Home of Birmingham United, the Thunder Castle. It's too high for Saladon. It's quite interesting when we talk about creativity in these matches. The Port number 8, Ko Solki, the Korean, attempted 104 passes against Kitchi in the opening match. The only player to have attempted more passes on match day 1 was Nagoya's Shinosuke Nakatana. Always very creative players, the Koreans. Busy through midfield. This is Suarez, and that is Solki. Just playing the game at their own pace at the moment. Port. Out wide by Rochella. Borden making himself busy once again. Can't pick out a Port shirt, but the ball being played exclusively in the Guangzhou half of the field at the moment. This is Selenon. Sulky. Baggio. He knows he was close to getting a foot on that. It's good defending. Can't fault the work rate of John Baggio in either game so far. Pacorn. It was a good ball hit with pace into his feet, but he couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. Pacorn Parpak. Guangzhou haven't really had any great spells in possession with the ball. It's been fits and starts, really. Haven't really strung too many passes together. They haven't really threatened in the final third as yet. Tried switching Fan Hengbo and Liao Jintao over on a couple of occasions. This is Chen Raijin. Ren Sai. Chen Jingfeng. Patience at the moment. Chang Jili straight through to Warrawut. Mentioned that new stadium that Guangzhou are building. Say it will be ready for the AFC Asia Cup, but they weren't listed as one of the host cities for that tournament. Look at some images online. It looks at a stunning stadium, 100,000 capacity. They know how to build stadiums in Asia, that's for sure. Just to give you an idea of the scale of the project, $1.7 billion they're spending on a new stadium, Guangzhou. What can the young players do here to try and get themselves back into this AFC Champions League campaign? Another defeat would leave them rock bottom. Don't want to get too cut adrift. There are 6 games to play in the group, of course, plenty of points available, but don't want to lag too far behind. Chang Jili with a ball in, Warrawut with a punch, but the flag had gone up for offside. will be a free kick. Guangzhou will have their back-to-back games against CHN on matches 3 and 4. So I haven't seen too much of the ball in the first half so far. They trail by a goal to nil. Elias Dollar's diving header midway through the first half. Here he is on the ball now. Selenon. Titatorn. Boarded. Misplaced the pass slightly. Comfortable for Chen Quanjing. It's going to be a free kick. It's a heavy challenge. The referee hasn't had the need to go to his pocket as yet. Chang Chi-hao, the man, completely mistimed it, went straight through the back of Sivakorn. Once again, it'll be Pakorn to deliver the free kick, the man who provided the cross for the only goal of the game so far. Once again, there's that whole cluster of players on the edge of the area. It's not a great delivery, can't miss out the first man this time. A foul throw from Selenon, which wasn't given, but he gave the ball straight away anyway. That was Fan Hengbo. It's the first of our double-header in Group G today here in Buranam. Cerezo Osaka against Kichi. The two victors on match day 1 will play each other a little bit later on this evening. Here's Baggio. That's good covering. Did well to get back there, Chen Raijin. Fan Hengbo. He's had a little bit more joy out on this near side than he did on the far side. Might get a shooting chance. He's been forced across goal, and eventually the angle wasn't great for him. Confident player, though. Happy to run with the ball at his feet. That's good defending from Port. They didn't dive in. They just forced him across goal where he couldn't really do any damage. Dollar. 2 minutes to be added at the end of the first half. The first half that's been dominated by the side from Thailand, looking for their debut win in the competition. Bordin. Suarez. Had that glorious opportunity just before the goal to score. It was a good save by Chang. Offside against Selenon. Comfortable header from Dollar. There's Rochella, the captain. Suarez. Great run from Pacorn, and the flag stayed down, and it's a glorious opportunity to double the lead on the stroke of half-time. Tremendous vision from Suarez. He timed his run, but just didn't catch it. Two defenders closing him down, Pacorn. And that's a chance, a really good chance as well, but it's the pass of the match so far from Sergio Suarez. Guangzhou will be mindful of that in the second half. Fan Hengbo. Last chance to maybe mount an attack here before the whistle goes for half-time. And the relative cool of the dressing rooms, I should imagine, in this 35-degree heat. Frustrating first half for Li Jiyu. Well, there goes the whistle. There's no time for Bordin to take the throw. Well, Sergio Suarez had a great chance in that first half, but he couldn't find a way past Chang. He made a wonderful save with his legs. Pacorn provided the ball in for the goal. Bordin was excellent on the far side, but the man who scored the goal, Elias Dollar, with a diving header, is the difference between the two teams at half-time, as Port FC are 45 minutes away from registering a first ever AFC Champions League win. Half-time here in Buranam. It's Port FC 1, Guangzhou 0. Welcome back to Buriram. Port FC leading by 1-0 at half-time against Guangzhou. That diving header from Elias Dollar midway through the first half. As the goal that's giving Port FC the points at the moment. We're in the Thunder Castle Stadium, as it's affectionately known. A stadium that was actually built in just 250 days, quite remarkable. 32,600 seats. And the home, of course, of Buriram United. And the word Buriram, translated, literally means City of Happiness. I wonder who will be the happier of these two teams in 45 minutes' time. This young Guangzhou side still looking for their first goal in the competition. And they're making a change. And they're making a double change. CHN and Ning Hao are both coming on. CHN and Cheng Zhenfeng are the two players that have made way. Ning Hao came on at half-time in the opening match against Cerezo. For the second time he's introduced halfway through. CHN, the other player that coming on, he came on in the first minute of added time. Didn't get a touch, I don't think, CHN in that opening game. So Port FC get us underway for the second half in their red and blue squared shirts. Slender lead as they go in search of their first ever AFC Champions League victory. Ning Hao so one of that double change at half-time. 20 years of age. So a number of 20-year-olds. Just the one 16-year-old in the squad today. They do have an 18-year-old on the bench as well, Guangzhou. But most of the younger players been left just to sit this one out. Early attack at the start of the second half. Titatorn concedes the corner. The two substitutes, by the way, they're both forwards, so it is a positive move by Li Jiyu in a bid to get his side back into the match. He's taken off a midfielder. Did take off his main striker as well, Huang Keizu, who worked hard in that first half but didn't really have too many sights of goal. Chang Li will take the corner. Away by Rochella. A little nudge in the back of Dollar. That will be a free kick to Port FC. Port became the 6th team from Thailand to actually lose their debut game in the AFC Champions League. 5 teams have gone on to lose their second games as well, most recently Ratchaburi in this season's competition, but Port will be hoping to avoid that particular stat if they can hang on and maybe expand on their lead. Titatorn into the corner. Borden. Rochella. Selenon, who's actually the fullback, just playing inside his central defender at the moment. It looks like a slight change in formation for Port at the second half. Selenon has now gone back out wide. Border. Titatorn. Good running again by the fullback to get down the outside. It was a heavy touch. Chance for Suarez, which is blocked. He had that great chance in the first half, Sergio Suarez. Saved by the legs of Zhang. And another effort at goal blocked before he can reach the goalkeeper this time. It was a poor touch from Rao Shen. Really put his defenders under pressure. Titatorn in once again, and it's Baggio attacking the ball. And it loops behind for a goal kick. Well, he's claiming a corner. Man who hails from Madagascar. He has got the corner. You can see how keen he is to impress, though, Baggio, having just joined the club from Sukhothai. So he scored 16 goals in the season that's just concluded in Thailand. Half of his goals did come from the penalty spot. He's gone out of play and come back in again. So it will be a goal kick to Guangzhou. Guangzhou did lose their first ever game against Thai opposition. They were beaten 2-1 at home by Buriram United, but they won 3 and lost none of their last 5 matches. 3 wins and 2 draws. Can they recover that record in the second half? Fan Hengbo over hits the cross. Started on the right-hand side, Fan Hengbo, but he's moved out to the left with Li Jintao coming over to the right. Teams can make up to 5 changes, don't forget. We've already seen a couple from Guangzhou at half-time. Fan Hengbo can't quite keep the ball in play. It's a foul throw. Don't see foul throws given too often these days. Selenon, the man penalised on that occasion. It's the kind of thing that infuriates coaches, particularly if it's deep in your own half like that was, but Ning Hao Shu can't take advantage. On by Suarez. Here's Bordeaux. Nothing worse than players running at you with pace if you're a defender. Bordin. Dollar. His goal separates the sides. Lovely flick. Suarez into the penalty area. Just ran away from him before he could get the shot in. It was a nice move. Solid challenge from Packard, which is a fair one, says the referee. That's not, though, but the free kick goes against Port. Double change here for Port. Selenon coming off and Sivakorn also coming off. Philip Roller, who started the first game, another new face who's joined from Ratchaburi. Unmistakable with that head of blonde hair. It's Canarin, the second player to come on, making a first appearance. Didn't appear off the bench. Played just 3 times for Port since he joined from Ratchaburi. So he'll go in. Looks like Roller's gone in on the right-hand side. There's Suarez. Canner in there just sitting in the centre of midfield. Suarez just playing in that slightly more advanced role today. So almost like an old-fashioned number 10, but he's dropped back now, the introduction of Canarin, who will play in a slightly more advanced role. It's a good game, Suarez. Could have scored in the first half. Pack on. Here is Suarez again. Didn't catch it cleanly, but it very nearly sneaks into the bottom corner. Well, Chang was scrabbling across. Suarez didn't catch it cleanly. Sometimes those can come off for you. On that occasion, it's just gone wide. May have taken a slight deflection on its way through. Chang was scrabbling. There's a free header. Again at the back, it's Sitatorn who'd come forward. Li Jiyu, the Guangzhou coach, saying ahead of the game that his side need to hold their formation strong in defence. So they need to be more confident when they're on the ball as well. They've got a little bit of pace. They're looking to seek out the opportunities to attack, which they haven't really done as yet. Haven't put Warwick's goal under any great pressure. Just the 4 shots so far for Guangzhou. Rochella. Sure, the fact that he's not here at the moment, the first team coach Fabio Cannavaro, he'll be keeping an eye on proceedings from back in China. 2 of these players, of course, will have aspirations of making it into the first team and playing in the Chinese Super League on a regular basis. Good ball in again. Suarez was the furthest man forward and couldn't quite apply the finish. It's been a good attacking performance by Port. Sarawak Tripan will be delighted with his side's application up front. Just got the faintest of touches, but not enough to hit the target. Ning Hao-Shu, the substitute. Dollar was strong. Sitatorn. We go out for the goal kick. Baggio. Continues to be busy for Port. Packhorn. Baggio again, surrounded by yellow shirts. It's quite interesting looking at the way that the Thai League has developed over the years. The Liga president Javier Tebas recently mentioned his ambitions to see Thai players in La Liga. Fairly recently, of course, David Rochella, who's the captain for Thailand, hails from Spain. Tirasil Dangda, the Pathum United striker, who ventured into the Spanish league with Almeria when he was just 25 years of age, some 6 years or so ago. Good ball in from Baggio! And a free header from Packhorn doubles the advantage. Well, he made the first, he scored the second, and Port FC are heading towards 3 points, their first 3 points in the AFC Champions League. And the tactics have worked perfectly for Sarawak Tripan. Chang beaten again, nothing he could do. Great movement, great goal. And the Thai side lead by 2-0. Brilliant work from Baggio. Well, he hasn't scored for his new club as yet, but that's what he can do. It's always dangerous when players are running from deep. It's always difficult for defenders. And Packhorn, who scored just the 1 goal in the Thai League this season against Prachuap back in March, gets his first continental goal. Well, this will drag Port right back into the group. So the 2 group winners playing a little bit later on, of course, Kichi and Cerezo Osaka. Here's Chen Raijin. Credit to Guangzhou, who went 2 down the other day and didn't let their heads drop. It was the 69th minute when Damjanovic put Kichi 2-0 up. He conceded a little bit earlier this time, but still showed good application. This is Wang Qianqing. Packhorn back on defensive duties. Here comes Baggio again. Really posing a threat now. So difficult to dispossess, that low centre of gravity. Good ball across. Defenders just in the way this time before it reached Suarez. We've already seen a couple of changes from both teams. I wonder whether, certainly from Port, we'll see there are the 3 changes made. It is very hot, say still in the low 30 degrees Celsius. Another game to come in 3 days' time. Sulky. Titatorn. Baggio. Lovely angle ball once again in towards Suarez. Chan was alive to it though, quickly off his line. He's had a good game today, Suarez. They could have had that goal in the first half. Played over 100 games for Las Palmas in Spain. Just mentioning that the tight connection with Spanish clubs, and that may be potential for the future. Suarez scored 14 goals in midfield in the season that's just finished in Thailand. Who from Guangzhou can try and make a name for themselves. Philip Roller is fouled. La Jintao has gone back over to the left-hand side now. Born in Munich, Philip Roller played in the German and Austrian leagues before moving to Thailand. Can he play as a right-back or a winger? He's slotted in as a right-back today, played as a more advanced player in the first game. Useful asset to have for Sarawak Tripan. Rochella. Sulky. Baggio. Forward by Canarin. Bordin. It's Chen, the Guangzhou captain. Titatorn was a little bit too aggressive in trying to get that one back as the Guangzhou captain tried to run the ball into the corners, just clipped his ankle. Bordin was quite conservative then, just trying to keep Chen in the corner, but Titatorn will arrive in a moment. Went straight through the back of him. Might be lucky to get away with a yellow card there. Another change. Ruan Sai is the man coming off. And Wu Junyao is the player that's come on. So a third change made by Lin Jiyi. There's another heavy challenge. Canarin just really stood his ground in the middle. Jintao, the player that felt the full force of that, he's back on his feet. There's Wu Junhao, 16 years of age, and he's just come on. Played the last 25 minutes, sorry, against Cerezo in the opening match. And he's got a quarter of the game left to try and make an impression. Chen Raijin. Still working hard, Port, to keep Guangzhou at bay. As you see, 66% almost the possession in favour of the side from Thailand. Fan Hengbo. Good defending. Titatorn looks good at the back today. Got forward on a couple of occasions as well. Warwick's been a virtual spectator in the second half. 15 shots to 4. The count at the moment. Dollar's header put Port ahead in the first half. Packhorn's goal after 61 minutes doubled their advantage. Port are quite content to let Guangzhou have the ball now. They're struggling to get out of their own half at the moment. There's no real movement off the ball. That should be easy for Philip Roller. Nicely touched back by Packhorn. Tried to return the favour down the line, Roller, but just out of play. It's that old adage in football, it's sometimes not what you do with the ball, it's what you do when you haven't got the ball. And the movement from Guangzhou hasn't been good enough at times. They haven't provided the options for the defenders in midfield to pick out those telling balls, which is why they're struggling. There's a decent run there in behind Titatorn, but once again it's comfortably cut out. Fan Hengbo has probably been one of the standout players for his side in the opening 2 games so far. Here's Canarin. Sulky. Baggio. He's got an eye for goal, John Baggio. You can see how desperate he is to get off the mark for his new club. Wasn't really much on for him there, but he was still confident enough to try and take the shot. Canarin penalised. "19 minutes to go. Port FC edging towards their opening 3 points in the AFC Champions League and going level on points with Cerezo, Osaka and Kitchi. That will change later, of course, when those two meet here in a couple of hours' time, 2.5 hours' time or so. Good play by Bordin. One man too many, though. Chang Ji-Li brings the ball away. Roller playing that back towards his own goal. It's a good effort from Warwick to try and prevent it from going behind for the corner. Chang Ji-Li with the corner, taken short this time. Wu Junqiao. Everybody bar Baggio back behind the ball at the moment for Port. Just needed to take some off that. It was asking too many questions in the middle. The substitution for Port, double change. Narul coming on. Baggio goes off, and Natawut is the other playing coming on. Narul, who came on 8 minutes into the second half in the opening game. Natawut, who also came off the bench in the final couple of minutes in that game. Woods has gone straight up front. Looks as though Borden was the other player to make way. Nurul dropping in onto the left of that front three. Sulky. Good ball down the line for Nurul, straight into the game. Thitatorn. Canarin. Rochella. All the way back to Warrawat in goal, who hasn't had too many touches of the ball today. He's been kept fairly quiet. His defence have done a good job in front of him, keeping Guangzhou at bay. Roller. Great finish. Philip Roller. Bursting forward from full back. But he's only been on the field a matter of minutes, Philip Roller. The man who's just joined from Ratchaburi gets his first goal for the club. And Porter doing their goal difference a bit of favours here as well. Zhang beaten again, but it was a viciously struck shot. Roller looks a good prospect, good addition to Port's squad for next season and for this competition. Nice little give and go with Suarez. The goalkeeper, I suppose he's been at his near post, I suppose, which will be disappointed for Chang, who'd gone to ground early. He's on the ground, but the ball went past him. Good movement, good finish, good goal. And Port lead by 3-0. You can see what it means to the coach. Be pleased with the way his side have applied themselves today. They've set themselves up beautifully. Guangzhou are making another change. Zhao Wenjie is coming on. Roller's off the mark for his new club. It's always going to be a tough competition for the young Guangzhou side, but see what sort of character they can show in the minutes that remain here, and then in their preparations for their next game against Kitchi in 3 days' time. Zhao Wenjie, the man who's just come on. It's away by Dollar. Another one of the 20-year-olds in the Guangzhou squad, Zhao Wenjie, making his first appearance in this year's competition. foul on roller by Wu Junhao. So it's that versatility, I think, that attracted Port to roller, the fact he can play anywhere down the right-hand side. Qualified to play for Thailand through his mother, despite the fact, as we say, he was born in Munich. Scored in his final game for Ratchaburi in a 2-2 draw with Trat. It was a nice way to say goodbye. That's a foul on Titatorn, and there'll be a yellow card here, the first of the game. Well, the Iranian referee has kept his cards in his pocket thus far, but he didn't really have a lot of opportunity, a lot of choice there, rather. Chen Raijin goes into the book. Bit of cramp as well creeping in. Both sides have made 4 of their allotted 5 substitutions now. So Chen Raijin, the first player into the book. In fact, Port have just made their final substitution. Tanasit Shripala comes on. Chase on for Narul. Pakorn's the player that's gone off, by the way, so Narul has switched over to the right-hand side now. He's looked busy since coming on. Got a bit of pace about him. Port will be hoping that this excellent performance will be carried over into the game against Cerezo Osaka in 3 days' time. It is just the top teams in each group, to remind you, that go through to the knockout stages. 3 of the best second-place teams will join them. So really just focusing what you're doing yourself. You don't need to look at who's top and look at how many points they've got. You just need to focus on getting as many points as you can and hope that you're one of the sides that finishes second. Be a real boost for Port if they can start picking up some points along the way now. They've got their first 3 in the bag here. 8 minutes to go. Sulky helps that all the way back to his goalkeeper. Scheller just put him under a little bit of pressure there with the back pass, but Sorobuk dealt with it well. Scheller. Natterwood just felt he was swept back then, and the referee agrees, and a yellow card, second in quick succession. It's Rao Shen this time that goes into the book. So 2 yellow cards in quick succession for Guangzhou. I'm sure a bit of tiredness, a bit of frustration just creeping into the Chinese at the moment. Touch of cramp here for Chen Raijin, the man who was first player to be yellow carded. They have still got one substitution to make, Guangzhou. Don't think Chen Ruijin's going to be able to continue. Port have made all 5 of their substitutions now. Tanasit, the last man to come on. Philip Roller could well have put the seal on what's been a wonderful performance by his side today. Great movement. He knew exactly what he wanted. Suarez telegraphed the pass back to him. And you can't take anything away from that finish at all. Roof of the net beyond Chang, who was on his way down early. Comprehensive for Port. John Baggio, no goal for him today, but he did set up the second goal for Pacorn. Pacorn in turn set up the first goal for the diving header for Dollar. Roller's ball in once again, free header from Natterwood. It may not be finished yet, Port. 5 minutes to go. We will see the final change now made by Guangzhou. It is Chen Ruijin that's gone off after that touch of cramp a moment or so ago. And Wang Wenjuan is the player that comes on. Came on with 7 minutes to go against Cerezo. Kept in by Tanasit. Foul by Nurul. You can't take anything away from Nurul's exuberance since coming on. He hasn't stopped running. Very tenacious. Clear foul though on Wang Jianqing. Five goals conceded, none scored so far for Guangzhou in their 2 matches. Can they grab themselves a consolation late on? Zhang Jili with the free kick. It's good pressure again when you think that. You look at the Port FC side, they've changed their front 3, Nurul, Natterwood and Tanasit. They've all got fresh legs, they're all pacey, and they're still going to put some pressure on this tight Guangzhou defence. Guangzhou named the same starting 11 today. I would imagine we'll see changes from Liu Jiyu in the next match. Here's Roller. Good play by Dollar, who still looks full of running. Roller giving the free kick away. Just a hand across the chest of Wang Tianqing, who probably went down a little bit easier than he should have done, but the referee gave the free kick. Standard of refereeing has been pretty good in this tournament so far. They've tried to allow the game to flow. They haven't produced many unnecessary yellow cards. All the referees here, vastly experienced Asian officials, and it's been very good so far. Let's hope it continues. Moshala's header. Natterwood. Too quickly around him. Zhao Wenjie was one of them, but the free kick had already been given. So just a question of a few more seconds, and then how much the officials are adding on for stoppage time. Time to go away and to regroup and prepare your players as best you can for your next match in 3 days' time for Guangzhou. 3 minutes added time. Here's Roller. Is there one more goal in this for Port? They've got a corner. Well, they're still getting the central defenders forward. Dollar up for this. Looking to try and go in search of his second goal of the game. Suarez is in there as well. Had that glorious opportunity just before the first goal in the first half. Sergio Suarez. Being now rolled to take the corner. That's a penalty, so they will get a chance to increase their lead. CHN Hedari, the Iranian referee, had a good view of that. Dollar, the man that was brought down, and a chance for Sergio Suarez to get his goal, having been denied by the leg of Zhang in the first half. Well, Suarez was being held. It was a push in the back from Zhang. Oh, and Suarez is saved by Zhang, and Natterwood's follow-up is blocked. So they've missed the chance to get a fourth goal here, Port. It was a good save by the keeper. Well, Suarez is just destined not to score today. That was Tanasit with the ball back in. Wasn't the greatest penalty in the world. Warwick. Out of play for a Guangzhou throw. What a chance though for Sergio Suarez. Goalkeeper dived almost a little bit too early. Bounced in front of him. He managed to get something behind it. It was a good save in the end. So not the greatest of penalties from Suarez. 6 of his 14 goals last season came from the spot. Not to be in the AFC Champions League. This is Roller. Suarez waits in the middle once again. Good punch by Zhang because Natterwood was right behind him. Well, he's performed well, the goalkeeper. To say he's been beaten 5 times in 2 games. None of the goals he really had a chance with. He very nearly saved Thiago's header in the first game when it hit the underside of the bar. But today he's been beaten by 3 very good goals. And there goes the full-time whistle. So Port FC from Thailand in their debut AFC Champions League campaign get their first victory. Elias Dollar put them in front midway through the first half. They had to wait till just after the hour mark to get a second through Pakhorn. And then Philip Roller, the substitute, fired in a third with 14 minutes to go. Suarez had a shot saved in the first half by the goalkeeper's legs. Missed a penalty in stoppage time. It could have been a lot more for Port. Guangzhou have kept it down to 3, but they have lost their second successive match and will need to regroup ahead of their match with Kitchi in 3 days' time. Full-time score in the opening day game of the day in Group J in Buriram. It's finished. Port FC 3, Guangzhou FC 0.